What is going on, everybody? Tyler Brandt back here with another video, and Pat's Camp Week continues here on the channel. Day 4 of Patriots Camp Week. Again, it's a whole week of videos here on the channel dedicated to all the camp battles, or some of the bigger camp battles that New England should expect in 2020. Now, on Monday, we had the fullback battle, but Danny Vitale opted out of 2020. So we kind of know where that story will probably end. On Tuesday, we had the Patriots kicking situation, a situation that they haven't had to address in nearly 2 decades. Yesterday, we had the wide receiver room. Which wide receivers will make a run to get to the back end of that depth chart and carve out a spot for themselves in 2020. And today, we are going to talk about probably the biggest question mark on the defensive side of the ball headed into the regular season, and that is with the departure of Kyle Van Noy, of Jamie Collins, of Elandon Roberts, and with guys like Dont'a Hightower and Patrick Chung opting out of 2020, now more than ever, where is the pass rush coming from in 2020? Who will be the primary pass rushers? How will they get to the quarterback? Will they get there with any consistency? Who's going to be responsible for that? It's a big part in New England, and while historically they haven't always had an elite pass rush, and it's more been a secondary kind of defense, especially as pass rushers continue to get more money, it's still important that New England has some sort of pass rush. Someone's got to fill those numbers that have all departed from the team in the last few months. So today we're going to break down just who fills that role in 2020 for the New England Patriots. So I think we'll start this video at the guy who a lot of people expect to take on probably the biggest brunt of that load headed into 2020, and that, of course, is now second-year player and former Michigan player, Chase Winovich. We've seen him as a special teamer make a lot of plays. We've seen when his number was called in 2019. He made a couple nice plays. He's a high motor. He had a great rookie season in 2019. He finished the season with a 72.5 Pro Football Focus grade, which is very good for a rookie. He also finished the season with 5.5 sacks and 23 quarterback pressures. Now, I think he steps up as the primary pass rusher because when you look at the snaps that he did get, a lot of the times when he was on the field, not on special teams, but as an actual linebacker and an edge defender, he was in on 232 pass rush snaps, compared to just 53 run defending snaps. So I think you could kind of see the trend and the way that they use Chase Winovich. They're trending him to be the guy that is going to be one of, if not their primary pass rusher for the foreseeable future. I think just looking at where he was and how they used him in 2019. Next up on the list, I want to cover one of the rookies, of course, that New England drafted that will now be expected to probably shoulder a good amount of weight, especially as a pass rusher, and that's going to be their third-round pick, Anfernee Jennings from Alabama. So we know Alabama, they breed great football players. Nick Saban is the best college football coach of all time, and you know when you're getting a player from Alabama that you're getting a good fundamental player and a smart player at least. And that's what Anfernee Jennings is, and he's a powerful player. He's very quick, very powerful around the edge. He had 8 sacks in 2019 for Alabama. And when he's not sacking the quarterback, he's got his arms up. He had a bunch of deflected balls. He's using and finding creative ways to get to the passer, whether it's hurries, whether it's hits. And he's just, like I said, quick hands around the edge, blowing guys off the ball, and just finding ways to end the play around the quarterback. Which, even if you're not getting a ton of sacks, if you're just around the quarterback, then you're doing something right, and you're doing something good for the team. The next man on the list that we're going to talk about is Josh Uche, another linebacker from Michigan. I waited to this point in the video to talk about him because I think he's a little bit different than Anfernee Jennings and Chase Winovich in how he played and was used in college. So we know he is an excellent pass rusher. He had 18.5 sacks in his last 2 seasons at Michigan, 10.5 sacks in 2019, and he has a 22.5 QB pressure rate in his last couple years at Michigan. So he is an excellent pass rusher in terms of what his primary goal is when he has to rush the passer. He gets there at a high percentage, and he does it very well. But here's the thing. In Michigan, in Don Brown's defense at Michigan, they have what's called a Viper pass rusher or a Viper defender. So when you're a Viper in Michigan's defense, you are essentially a hybrid safety linebacker pass rusher, depending on the package and the down and the distance and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of what Josh Uche has done at Michigan, while it has been excellent, it's a lot of it, and a good chunk of it, has been in a Viper role. And a lot of times when Michigan was significantly better than their competition, you would see guys like Josh Uche just absolutely destroying quarterbacks and running backs and quarterback and people in the backfield. And a lot of times also in Don Brown's defense, that Viper position, it would also be liable to get lit up. I mean, you looked at previously at games versus Ohio State where they get blown out of the water. Against good offenses, sometimes that Viper defense and that downhill defense has been susceptible to big plays. So I think that in Josh Uche's rookie season, he is going to be a kind of strategic pass rusher. I don't think he's going to play 3 downs right away because I don't think that he's ready to play 3 downs right away in the NFL. But he is an excellent quarterback rusher. He's an excellent sack guy. And I think that when he's schemed to get to the quarterback, which I think he will do a lot in his rookie season, he's going to get to the quarterback. Whether it's sacks, whether it's hurries, whether it's hits, whether it's knockdowns, he's going to get there. If there's a party at the quarterback, you know he's at the you know he's on the VIP list. There we go. Got it out. That was a good one. So, some other things about Josh Uche. He's lightning fast. He's got quick hands. He's got good instincts. He does a lot of good things that you would want a pass rusher to do. It's just, can he play 3 downs in the NFL where you're responsible for more than just specifically rushing the passer? And I think a lot of offensive guys, if you have a guy in there that's a liability, they're going to pick you apart all day. And I think that Josh Uche might just be a liability as a 3-down linebacker early on in his career. So one of the last few guys I want to talk about on this list is going to be Juan Bentley. Now, I don't think he's going to be used as a pass rusher a lot of the time because now without Dont'a Hightower in 2020, Bentley's role has just increased tenfold. So I think he's going to be all over the field. But I do think it is worth noting that when he is used as a pass rusher in 2020, which was extremely limited because of the depth, he was pretty good. In 37 pass rushing snaps, he had 6 quarterback hurries and 1 hit. And beyond that, there was a few games where he actually had a pretty decent grade as a pass rusher. There were 2 games against the Giants and the Jets this past season that he had an over 80 Pro Football Focus grade as a pass rusher. And even beyond that, in the game against Miami in Week 2, he had an over 70 pass rushing grade for New England. So I think there's a little bit of promise there as a pass rusher for Bentley, but I'm not sure that he's going to be the pass rusher that Dont'a Hightower was, which is one of the bigger losses to pass rushing in New England now that he won't be playing in 2020. And the last person that I want to mention on this list, and we're just going to talk a little bit about, is John Simon. Now, I'm not sure if every New England fan knows who John Simon is, but he is truly one of the just faces of do your job, keep your work in front of you, do what you have to do, and everything will work. He is the poster boy for that. So I am very intrigued to see how his role expands. He wasn't exactly a pass rush savant, and he's not all over the quarterback. He's actually very good in coverage. So I think that's why I haven't put him in as an absolute sack artist and a pass rusher, because I think that he's probably going to be used a lot more against the run and in coverage than he will as a pass rusher. But I think he can do that. He had a few sacks last season, and I think that he's probably, he primarily lines up at outside linebacker as an edge defender, stuff like that. But I think he's got the ability to move inside, and without Hightower, I think he's probably going to get a few more, at least, probably a lot more snaps as an interior linebacker as opposed to an outside linebacker. I just think he's a smart player. He knows how to keep his work in front of him, and he knows how to do his job the right way. So I think that's going to open up a lot of opportunity for him, and I think by the end of 2020, a lot more people will know who John Simon is than they do right now. But that is going to do it for this video on the Patriots pass rush. Day 4 of Pats Camp in the books. How are you liking this Pats Camp week on the channel? Drop a comment down below. Let me know, who do you think will lead New England in sacks in 2020? Drop a comment down below. Let me know. I would love to chop it up with you guys. Do you think one of these rookies will have an upstart season? Where do you think a lot of that pressure will come from? Again, I'd love to chat. Everybody that drops a comment, I chat with you. And again, share this video. Share all these videos with Patriot fans, with football fans. Tell them to subscribe. We grow every day. Again, I have to tell you how much I appreciate you. But until next time, Remember to follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitter at The Tyler Brand, on Instagram at Talking Pats. But until next time, I'm Tyler Brandt. Be safe, be good, and I'll catch you on the next video.